Alright, so this is my baby naming app. I chose to write it in TypeScript using the Angular framework, and I have a Node server running in the background serving up the text files. So I'll do a min length of 2, max of 6. I chose to do the extra credit with the model order. Let's do 15 names, and I have male selected up there. So it returns some boyish looking names. You get stuff like Kai, Gus, Haifa, Trison. I chose to use a different word list. I compiled a list of 1,000 or so names that I got off of a website of popular baby names for 2017. And then if I switch the gender here, it'll rerun the service I have running in the background. You get fairly girlish names like Aria, Elia, Lexia, Ren, Cece, Allie. So I'll jump into the code. I chose to store the data in a hash. So when I call this service, when the buttons get clicked, it'll prepend the underscores, repeating depending on the model order. And what it'll do then is generate a model of names, which will map whatever the model order is to the following character. And you can see this if I inspect the element. This object should have all the mappings. So it doesn't store the probabilities directly, but what it does is generate a random number between 0 and whatever this amount here is in the mapping. And then the probability should be taken care of there. I think initially I thought I had to actually store probabilities, but looking further into it, you get the inherent probability by storing these all on a list. And if you choose a random number, it'll always pick whatever's most frequent. So that I stored in a hash, goes through the list and pushes the key value pairs. And then it generates the name list depending on the parameters. So we have the name length parameters. Then it generates the names here. So I had to store that underscore for the extra credit and then repeat it depending on the model order. So if it was longer than just the second model order, it'll have to repeat it depending on whatever is input there. So then it gets the random number between 0 and whatever amount of letters are stored in that array. So if you have 32, it'll get a random number between 0 and 31 here, and then spit out whatever should have the highest probability. And then once it sees the next character as the underscore, it'll break and then spit out the names as a list, obviously depending on all the length parameters that we specified in the assignment. So there's not too much else to explain. I used just like a basic CSS framework to show the males and females. So you kind of got some cool icons here. And as you increase the order, the names get a little bit better. But once you increase the order of the model too much, you start to get a crashing app. And that's because you're hitting an amount of characters that you're mapping longer than you have in the list. So there might be, I don't think there's really a workaround for that, but yeah, so this was my app, and thanks for watching.